The sky above planet Velquora was full of glowing colors. It was always beautiful, like a painting made by stars. But today, something strange was falling from the sky. It was a human spaceship, spinning and on fire. The ship crashed into the royal gardens with a loud boom. Smoke rose. Guards rushed forward with energy spears in hand. They were ready to protect their princess. Inside the crash site, the door of the ship opened. A man slowly stepped out, coughing and waving away the smoke. He was tall, covered in dirt and oil, and wore a broken spacesuit. His name was Jake Harris, a human engineer from Earth. He had no weapons, just a toolbox and a confused look on his face. "Where am I?" Jake asked, looking around. The guards pointed their weapons at him, but a soft voice stopped them. "Wait," said Princess Zalari, stepping forward. She was tall, with light blue skin that shimmered in the sunlight. Her hair floated like silk in water, and her golden royal robe moved gently with the breeze. She looked at Jake with curiosity. He was the first human she had ever seen in real life. "You are human?" she asked slowly, speaking in Earth's language. Jake blinked. "Yeah, I guess I crash-landed here. I didn't mean to cause trouble." Zalari smiled. "Good. You are welcome here." She bowed gently. "Please come inside of me, human." Jake froze. The guards looked shocked. Even the translator device beeped twice in confusion. "I'm sorry, what?" Jake asked. "Come inside of me," Zalari said again, completely serious. "You must enter me to help. My body is weak. You can fix it, yes?" Jake's face turned red. I think there's been a misunderstanding." She tilted her head. "I am talking about my outer self, my royal transport ship. It is connected to me. It is part of me." Jake let out a sigh of relief. "Oh, you mean your ship?" "Yes," she said. "My royal bioship is failing. The ceremony is soon. If it does not move, I lose my place as heir." Jake looked at the strange ship, parked nearby. It was large, smooth, and silver, almost alive. It pulsed gently, like a heart. "Bioship?" he asked. "Yes. It is a living machine, built from flesh and energy. I control it with my mind. But now, it is dying." Jake walked closer to it. The ship opened like a flower, revealing soft, glowing walls inside. "Whoa," he whispered. "I believe only you, a human, can help. Our best mechanics tried, they failed. But this ship, it responds to you. It lit up the moment you arrived." Jake scratched his head. "All right, Princess. I'll take a look." The next hour was full of work. Jake climbed inside the ship, pulling out tools and crawling through living tubes and glowing panels. The ship was strange. It had no wires, no metal parts. Everything was soft, warm, and alive. It was like being inside a giant creature. Outside, Princess Galari sat near the entrance, watching him. She looked nervous but hopeful. "Jake," she said, "be gentle. It is part of me. I can feel what it feels." Jake paused. "Wait, you feel this?" "Yes. Every touch, every movement." Jake coughed. "That's very personal." She nodded. "Yes, you are very close to me now. Do you feel honored?" Jake laughed nervously. "That's one way to put it." He kept working. He pressed into a soft panel and the ship shivered. Zalari gasped. "Oh, that spot is sensitive." Jake stopped. "Sorry." "No, it's all right," she said, blushing blue. "You are doing well." Guards stood far away, whispering. One guard said, "The human is touching her so deeply. They are already bonding." Another replied, "She has never let anyone go inside her that far." Jake, of course, couldn't hear them. He was too busy fixing a strange, glowing nerve cluster. Suddenly, the ship's lights blinked. "It's working," Jake said. "I just need more time." While working, Jake noticed something odd. Deep inside the ship, hidden under layers of tissue, was a small cube. It was made of metal, not soft like the rest. "What's this?" he asked. He touched it. A hologram popped up. The words were in Old Earth English. "Property of Project Genesis, Earth Federation Biotech Division." Jake's eyes widened. No way. This thing was made by humans? He ran out to tell Zalari. "Princess," he said, showing her the cube. "This proves your ship was made by Earth, not your people." She looked shocked. "That cannot be. Our ancestors found it in a star temple. We believed it was a gift from the stars." Jake shook his head. "It's human tech, very old. Maybe thousands of years." Zalari looked at the ship, then at Jake. "Then, your people created the machine we now worship. Does this mean you are its true master?" Jake laughed. "No way. I just fix things. But this changes everything." Suddenly, a messenger drone flew in. It played a message in the royal voice. "Princess Zalari, the time is short. If you do not arrive at the coronation in 3 days, the throne passes to Prince Vorin." Zalari's eyes filled with worry. "We must fix the ship fully, or I lose everything." Jake nodded. "Then let's not waste time." She smiled. "Thank you, Jake. You came from the sky, and now you are inside the heart of our future." Jake blushed again. "Please stop saying it like that." She tilted her head. "Saying what?" He sighed. "Never mind. Let's get to work." Jake Harris sat inside the glowing walls of the alien bioship. It still amazed him. The entire structure was warm, soft, and alive. It breathed like a sleeping beast and pulsed with soft blue lights. He had never worked on anything like it. "Princess." Zalari stood just outside the ship watching him. Her hands were clasped in front of her, and her long blue hair waved gently in the wind. She looked calm, but deep inside, she was nervous. The royal ship was a part of her. Every time Jake touched it, she could feel it. It was how her people had bonded with their bioships for centuries. The connection was mental and emotional, but with Jake, something was different. "Jake," she called gently, "are you comfortable inside me?" Jake froze. He had just reached for a soft, glowing panel when she spoke. He coughed. You mean inside the ship, right?" "Yes," she said innocently. "You are deep inside me now. It is a sacred place." Jake's face turned red. He was sure she didn't mean it, the way it sounded. Still, the royal guards nearby were whispering and staring at him like he was doing something private. He sighed and kept working. "You really need to update your translator." She smiled. "But I learned your Earth language from your old transmissions. There was a show called Romance Hospital Nights. It was very informative." Jake blinked. "That's not a great source." "Was the line, 'I want you inside me now,' not a greeting of trust?" she asked seriously. Jake nearly dropped his wrench. No. It means something very different." She looked confused. Strange. The couple on the show smiled after saying it. Jake wiped sweat from his forehead. "Yeah, they usually do. But not because of ship repairs." Zalari tilted her head. "I do not understand." Jake smiled awkwardly. "Let's just focus on the ship." Inside, he found the power glands still damaged. The ship's nerves were twitching. The entire system was failing slowly, and if not repaired soon, it would shut down completely. That meant no flight, no ceremony, and Zalari would lose her, right to the throne. He connected a small human tool to one of the nerves. Sparks flew. The bioship let out a soft groan. Outside, Zalari gasped. "Oh, that was a strong touch." Jake peeked out. "Sorry, did that hurt?" She shook her head, slowly, cheeks turning a soft purple. "No, it was intense." The guards looked away, clearly embarrassed. One of them muttered, "He is too bold. No one has touched her like that, not even the nobles." Another whispered, "Maybe that is why she chose him. Humans are strange." Jake ignored them. He focused on the ship. If I reconnect this nerve, cluster and boost the energy node with a human power cell, it might restart the ship's main systems. He looked around and pulled a small capsule from his suit. It was a backup energy core from his crashed ship. "Let's hope this works." He carefully connected the capsule. The ship's walls lit up brighter. The pulsing became stronger. "Princess, it's working!" Jake called. Solari stepped forward, eyes wide with wonder. "You are awakening her. I can feel her heartbeat again." Suddenly, a voice spoke from the ship. It was soft and female like a whisper. Core link reactivated. Initiating neural connection. Jake looked around. "What's that?" Solari looked surprised. "I think it wants to connect with you. Fully." Jake frowned. "Didn't we already do that?" She shook her head. "No, you have only touched her surface. The ship is alive. It wants to know you. Deeply." Jake hesitated. "What does that involve?" Solari took a breath. "You must place your hand on the core, then open your mind. The ship will enter your thoughts. You will share emotions and knowledge." Jake rubbed his neck. "That sounds intense." "It is," she said. "Usually only royalty do this. But she is calling you. She trusts you." Jake walked toward the glowing core deep inside the ship. It was shaped like a heart, glowing with light. He placed his hand on it. A shock ran through his body. His vision blurred. Then everything went silent. He opened his eyes. He was standing in a strange white space. Stars floated around him. In front of him stood Solari, but not exactly. She wore a dress made of stars, and her eyes glowed like suns. "Jake," her voice echoed. "You are inside the neural link." Jake looked down. He was glowing too. "What is this?" "The ship's memory. We are connected through it now." He saw images flash around them. Old Earth scientists building the bioship, launching it into space to hide it from a galactic war. It had landed on Velquara 1,000 years ago. The locals believed it was a gift from the stars. "You created her," Solari said softly. "Your people made the ship that carries my soul." Jake whispered. "We didn't know it survived." She stepped closer. "This bond, it means you are not just a mechanic. You are part of her, and part of me." Jake blinked. "Wait, what does that mean?" Solari smiled. "It means you are no longer just a guest. You are family." Suddenly the light faded. Jake opened his eyes back in the real world. He was on the floor of the ship, and Solari was holding his hand. "Are you well?" she asked. He nodded slowly. "Yeah, that was something else." She looked into his eyes. "I felt your thoughts, your memories, your pain. You lost your family in space, didn't you?" Jake nodded. "Yeah, years ago." "I'm sorry," she said gently. "But you are not alone now." Jake stood up, still dizzy. "Thanks, Princess." "You may call me Solari," she said, smiling. "We have shared thoughts. You may use my true name." Just then, an alarm rang. A hologram appeared in the air. It was a message from the Galactic Council. To Princess Solari, "You have 2 days to reach the coronation. If you do not arrive, Prince Vorin will claim the throne." Solari's smile faded. "He is my cousin. He wants war, not peace." Jake said, "Then we better get this ship flying fast." She nodded. "With you beside me, I believe we can do it." He laughed. "Then let's finish fixing your outer self, your high, Solari." She touched his shoulder. "Thank you, Jake." He blushed again. "And maybe stop saying, 'Come inside me,' okay?" She giggled. "Why? Does it still confuse you?" He smiled. "More than you know." Jake Harris worked deep inside the royal bioship, sweat dripping from his forehead. The soft, glowing walls pulsed slowly as he crawled through the curved tunnels. He had been repairing its inner systems for hours. With each fix, the ship became stronger, brighter, more alive. Outside, Princess Zalari waited, watching the sky. Time was running out. Only 2 days left before the great coronation. If she didn't arrive, her cousin Prince Vorin would become the next ruler, and he had already promised to turn their peaceful world into a military empire. Inside the ship, Jake was close to completing the final repairs. He carefully adjusted, a set of glowing nerves that connected to the flight core. The ship hummed in response. It felt like it was waking up from a long sleep. As Jake reached deeper into the system, he noticed something strange. A hidden section of the ship's memory. Core was locked, like a sealed vault. Even the ship's systems didn't respond when he touched it. "That's weird," Jake muttered. "Why is this part sealed off?" He pulled out a small scanner from his toolkit. The screen lit up with strange symbols, but after a moment English words appeared. "Access denied. Human DNA match required." Jake's eyes widened. "It's human tech again." He placed his hand on the core. The lights blinked. Then, with a soft hum, the seal opened. Inside was a small black cube. Jake gently pulled it out. A blue hologram appeared in the air. A human woman in a white lab coat stood in the projection. She looked serious. "This is Dr. Mira Sandoval of Earth Federation Biotech Division," the recording began. "Project Genesis was our final hope. We created bioorganic ships with self-healing minds and emotions. We sent one into deep space to hide it from the war." Jake's mouth opened slightly. "This is a message from the past." The recording continued. "If you're seeing this, you are human, and you found the Genesis ship. We pray you, use it for peace, not war." Then the hologram ended. Jake sat there in silence. His thoughts were spinning. This ship, Princess Exalari's royal transport, was not just a living machine. It was a gift from Earth's forgotten past. He rushed out of the ship, holding the cube. "Zalari!" he called. "You need to see this!" The princess looked up from her seat near the glowing garden. She stood quickly and walked to him. "What is it, Jake?" He showed her the cube and explained what he found. The hologram played again. Zalari watched silently. When it ended, she looked stunned. "So, this ship, it is not from my people at all. It was created by yours, by humans." Jake nodded. "It was hidden here 1,000 years ago. Your ancestors found it and used it, but it wasn't built by Velquarans." She placed her hand on the ship's wall. "All my life I believed this ship was sacred, a royal gift from the stars. But now I know the truth." Jake gently said, "It's still special, maybe even more now. It means our people are connected, more than we thought." Zalari gave him a soft smile. "Yes, and now I know why the ship responds to you so strongly. You are a child of its creators." Jake looked down. "There's more. The ship was designed for peace, not war. If Prince Vorin takes the throne and uses it for violence, it will go against everything this ship stands for." Zalari nodded. "Then we must make sure I get to the coronation, no matter what," Jake agreed. "The ship's almost ready, just one last test. But I have an idea." That night, Jake and Zalari sat in the command room of the bioship. The lights were soft. The seats formed naturally from the walls, shaped perfectly to fit them. "I can't believe I'm sitting in a living spaceship," Jake said, shaking his head. Zalari smiled. "She seems to like you," he chuckled. "I'm starting to like her back." He placed the cube on the control panel. The ship absorbed it silently. Then a new interface opened, written in both Earth English and Velquaran script. What's this? Zalari asked. Jake read it. Looks like advanced flight controls, faster than light travel, and even a cloaking system. She leaned forward. A cloak? We could travel without being seen? Jake nodded. Exactly, it might. Be the only way to avoid Prince Voron's forces. He'll try to stop you before you reach the coronation. Zalari stood. Then let us begin. Tonight, we fly. Jake took a deep breath. You ready for this? She looked at him, eyes shining. With you beside me. Yes. The ship rose from the ground quietly. The royal guards watched in awe. The ship, once weak and dying, now glowed with power. It moved smoothly, like a bird in flight. Jake sat at the co-pilot seat, guiding the systems. Zalari closed her eyes and connected with the ship. The lights inside shifted with her emotions. She smiled. We are one, she whispered. Then the stars stretched in front of them. The ship jumped into faster-than-light travel, disappearing into the void. They didn't know Prince Voron had already planned an ambush. His warships floated near the coronation station, waiting. He had spies watching every gate, every star path. She will not arrive, he said coldly, and I will take the throne. But he didn't know the bioship had activated its human cloaking device. They passed his entire fleet unseen. Inside the ship, Jake watched the screen. We're almost there, but we need to be careful. Voron's ships are all around. Zalari's eyes narrowed. He fears the truth. That is why he blocks my path. Jake nodded. Let's prove him wrong. They guided the ship toward the station. The path was tight. Any mistake, and the cloak would drop. Zalari whispered. I can feel her heartbeat. She trusts you now. Jake smiled. Then let's make this old Earth ship proud. Suddenly, alarms rang. A nearby patrol ship detected something. It sent out a scanning pulse. Jake's heart raced. Uh-oh. They're close, he said. Zalari closed her eyes. I will hide us. In light. The ship shifted. Its cloak bent the stars around them. The patrol passed without noticing. Jake let out a long breath. That was close. But now, the coronation station was in sight. Zalari looked ahead, her voice calm and clear. We made it, Jake smiled. And just in time, the bioship slowed and uncloaked. Lights from the coronation station blinked in surprise. Hundreds of royal guests turned their heads. Gasps echoed across the station. It's the princess! She arrived! And the ship, it's alive! As the glowing bioship floated into the royal dock, Zalari stood tall. She wore her ceremonial robe. Jake walked beside her in a clean suit gifted by the palace. You're about to become queen, Jake said. Zalari looked at him. Only because of you. He chuckled. Just doing my job. She stepped closer. No, you did more. You came from the stars and fixed my heart. Jake blushed. You mean the ship, right? She laughed gently. Yes, Jake, of course. But her eyes told a deeper story. The grand hall of the coronation station was alive with light and sound. Hundreds of alien nobles from many star systems gathered to watch the ceremony. The air buzzed with excitement, whispers, and distant music. It was the moment Princess Zalari had waited her whole life for. But beneath the glittering robes and bright smiles, tension hung heavy. Prince Voron's loyal guards stood near the throne, their eyes sharp and cold. They wanted to stop Zalari from taking her place. They did not want peace. They wanted war. Jake Harris stood quietly beside Zalari. His heart pounded in his chest. For the first time, he was not just a mechanic or visitor. He was part of the royal ceremony. The human who had fixed the living ship, the one who had helped. Save the princess and perhaps the entire planet. Are you ready? Jake whispered. Zalari nodded. Yes. But there is one more thing. Jake looked confused. What's that? She took his hand. Before I can claim the throne, I must perform the bonding ritual. It is an ancient ceremony that links me to the ship, and now to you. Jake swallowed. What does that mean? Zalari smiled softly. It means we share more than just the ship. We share our minds, our souls. It is a sacred connection. You must come inside me, not as a visitor, but as a true partner. Jake blinked and felt the familiar heat rising to his cheeks. You mean inside the ship? Yes, she said simply, but this time the connection will be complete. The ceremony hall opened into a glowing chamber inside the bioship. The walls shone with soft blue light. The air smelled like fresh rain. It was peaceful and alive. Solari led Jake inside. She sat on a throne made from smooth, living crystal. The ship pulsed gently beneath them. Sit beside me, she said. Jake did, feeling the soft surface beneath him. Solari closed her eyes and placed her hand on Jake's chest. Now open your mind. Let the ship enter you. Let me enter you. Jake felt a strange warmth spreading from her hand. Suddenly his vision blurred. The world around him dissolved like mist. He found himself standing in a vast white space, stars swirling everywhere. Zalari stood beside him, glowing with soft blue light. This is the neural link, she said. We share thoughts and feelings. Nothing can hide here. Jake looked around, amazed. It's like another universe, she smiled. A universe between minds. As they walked through the stars, Jake suddenly felt a rush of emotions, joy, fear, love, and pain mixed together. He saw memories, not his own but hers. A lonely childhood, a heavy crown, a hope for peace. Solari saw his memories too, the long journey through space, the crash, and the loneliness of losing his family. They shared their stories silently. Words were not needed. Jake said softly, I never thought I'd connect with an alien like this. Solari looked at him with glowing eyes. You are more than an alien to me. You are part of my soul now. Jake felt tears in his eyes. I never wanted to be royalty. Then you will be a different kind of ruler, she said. Together. Suddenly, a dark shadow appeared between the stars. It was Prince Voron's image, angry and twisted. You cannot escape me, his voice echoed. This ship belongs to me by right. You are weak, Zalari. Zalari stepped forward, her light growing brighter. This ship belongs to those who protect peace, she said, and Jake and I will defend it together. Jake felt the ship's power rise beneath them. The glowing walls of the real chamber hummed with energy. The dark shadow faded. You are stronger than I expected, Voron growled. But this is not over. Back in the real world, Jake opened his eyes. He was back in the glowing chamber, with Zalari holding his hand. You did well, she said softly. The bond is complete. Jake smiled tiredly. It was intense. Zalari laughed. I know, but now nothing can separate us. They stood and walked to the ship's bridge. The crew around them cheered quietly. Your Highness, said the chief guard, Prince Voron's fleet is approaching. Zalari's face grew serious. We have one chance. The ship's new systems must be ready. Jake looked at the controls. I'm ready. The bioship soared out into space. The stars rushed past them as the ship jumped into faster-than-light travel. Jake and Zalari worked together at the controls. I feel her strength, Zalari said. And yours. Jake smiled. It's a good team. The ship's sensors detected the enemy fleet closing fast. We must use the cloaking system, Jake said. It's our only chance. Zalari nodded. Do it. The ship vanished. From all sensors. It was like they disappeared into the void. Prince Voron's ships searched desperately but found nothing. Finally, the coronation station came into view again. Scifi smiled. "We made it." Jake looked at her. "You're about to become queen." She reached out and squeezed his hand. "And you will be my partner." The royal guards cheered as the ship docked. The galaxy was watching. A new era was about to begin, one of peace, hope, and human-alien friendship. And Jake, simple human engineer, was at the heart of it all. The great hall of the coronation station was packed with guests from many star systems. Lights shone bright and music filled the air. Alien nobles wore their finest clothes. Everyone had come to see Princess Scifi claim her throne. Jake Harris stood beside her. He was no longer the nervous human from a crashed ship. Now he was proud to be part of this moment. He wore a simple suit given by the palace, clean and neat. "Are you ready?" Jake asked softly. Scifi smiled. Her eyes shone with quiet strength. "I am ready. But this day is bigger than me. It is for peace." Jake nodded. "I'm with you, whatever happens." The doors to the hall opened. Guards announced the princess's arrival. Scifi walked down the aisle, her royal robe glowing softly. The living ship hovered behind her, its bio-light pulsing gently. The eye. Crowd gasped. The old legends spoke of the living ship. Few had ever seen it in full power. Now it moved and breathed like a great beast. Whispers spread quickly. "The princess rides the ancient ship. The ship is alive. The human fixed it." Scifi reached the throne. Prince Vorin stood nearby, watching with cold eyes. "You are late," he said sharply. "The throne belongs to me." Scifi held her ground. "I am here on time, thanks to the ship and a human." The hall fell silent. Jake stepped forward. "I am Jake Harris from Earth. I helped the princess because I believe in peace, not war." Some nobles looked shocked. Others whispered quietly. "Prince," Vorin laughed. "A human? How weak your choice is, Scifi." Scifi raised her voice. "He is no weakling. He fixed a ship your people could not. And he showed us the truth. This ship was made by humans long ago. We are connected." Suddenly, the ship's lights flashed brightly. The bio-ship pulsed and sent a soft hum through the hall. Jake felt the ship's power. It was alive and strong. It was ready to protect the princess and her new reign. Prince Vorin stepped forward angrily. "Enough. I will take the throne by force." Before anyone could stop him, the bio-ship moved. It stretched like a great living creature, its walls shifting. It sent out a protective shield around the hall. Jake and Scifi looked at each other. They were linked, mind and soul, and ready. A fierce but silent struggle began. Vorin's guards tried to break through the shield. The bio-ship responded by adjusting its energy, blocking every attack. Vorin shouted orders, but his fleet was too far away to help quickly. The nobles watched in awe as the living ship protected its princess. Jake worked quickly at the controls, sending power to the ship's defenses. "This ship is amazing," he said to Scifi. She smiled. "And you are its heart." The shield held strong. After a tense few minutes, the guards gave up. Vorin's face twisted in anger. The council leader stepped forward. "This display proves the princess is the rightful heir. No violence will rule our worlds." Scifi bowed. "Thank you. I promise to lead with wisdom and peace." Jake took her hand. "And I will be with you, exploring the stars, fixing what is broken, and protecting this new alliance." The crowd cheered. Later, Jake and Scifi stood outside the great hall. The stars shone brightly overhead. "You changed everything," Jake said softly. Scifi smiled. "No, we changed everything, together." Jake laughed. "Next time, maybe use less confusing words when you say, 'Please come inside of me,'" she giggled. "I will try." They looked at the glowing ship. It was more than a machine. It was a living bridge between two worlds. As the galaxy watched, a new story began, one of friendship, courage, and hope. And Jake, the human mechanic, was at its heart.